Welcome, everyone. It's a Friday. I am Chris Gore. This is Film Threat and the Film Threat Livecast. Today on the show, the new Captain America trailer has dropped. We're going to react to it live. Alan hasn't seen it, plus a lot of film reviews. Fly Me to the Moon, Longlegs, Dandelion, Sing Sing, Touch, Sorry Not Sorry, and The Convert. All these movies are opening in theaters, and you probably didn't even know about them, or at least half of those. Also, Population Purge director Brian Johnson will talk to us at the end of the show, tell us about his little indie movie. And Alan is here waiting in the wings. I don't know, what is he doing? He's always doing something weird. So let's get things started. Let's kick things off. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's get this show started. There's a video here I gotta play that I can't find. Let's get this show started. And there used to be a video here, and I'm going nuts. And let's. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's do this. Let's get the show. Let's get things started as I look for the opening intro. Here we go.
Alan.
Hey man, it's an Alan day.
Yes, I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Oh my God! Yeah,
four movies yesterday.
How late were you at the theater?
I was there till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and it's just weird because I think the staff leaves like early and just trusts that the people in the theaters are just going to walk out and not vandalize their theater.
Good job! Dedication.
Yeah.
I saw two movies back to back yesterday as well, and I wasn't out late like you. I was lucky, but God, I saw two very good films. Mm-hmm. I'm shocked because a lot of people will say nothing is out. There's nothing out. It's like when it comes to indie movies, there's some very good films, and we will talk about them, and some not so good films. So there you go. I'm pre-coffee, which is rare. I didn't make it. I didn't make it in time to finish one cup of coffee. So I'm still waking up here. So, but let's see who's here. Let's see who's here and say hi to people. Let's see. There we go, Alan.
Yes, Bruce Leroy Jenkins for 2. Let's effing go. Yes.
I love that.
Davina Duckworth. Alan didn't steal any projectors. Oh, nope. I gotta pull my. I just stole my mom's old Super 8 projector.
Nice.
So, all right, here we go. The Hookman 777 became a YouTube member. Welcome to the club. Join us on Discord. Chris may show up once again. Slayer 96 DA first member for 5 months. My Tyranitar King of the Pocket Monsters is 1 year old.
Thank you for being a member.
All right. From the nerd far away, sleep is overrated, Alan. You have no idea how underrated sleep is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. Andrew Cram, I bought the 4K Godzilla -1, and I'm very excited about that.
And this
of course,
reminder.
Our stalwart Lord Thoth tells us to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on Discord and Rumble, buy our merch. Yes, please hit that like button right now. It will help the algorithm.
And check this out. We have some new shirts. New shirts have arrived. Very excited about, I bought the Blockbuster one, and we have the Funeral for a Franchise right here. It's front and back, a quote from Yoda on the back. And here we go. I have it. I've got it. And you get 15% off with the code Star Wars is dead. Go to shop.filmthread.com. The code will only be good through next Wednesday. We extended it. So use that code. I'm going to put this. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so go to shop.filmthread.com and help support our efforts. And also, I got to remind people, keep that code up.
Okay.
Go to filmthread.com. There are new reviews daily. What is this? Where's Film Thread? I can't find it. Well, just go to filmthread.com.
It's there. I mean, you were at the shop, so it's there.
It's not there. I don't have it. I don't have it. It's all good. It's all good. So, yeah. So there we go. Love that. The shop. And remember, this week or next week, next Wednesday. So Monday we're doing Versus. Tuesday night we're doing Hollywood on the Rocks. Right after the last episode of The Acolyte. Right, Alan?
Right.
And then
we'll be talking about two things. No, never mind. I'm a week off, so
yeah, same. I almost made the same mistake about Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
We have another weird schedule the following week. But,
Hollywood on the Rocks next week will be on Tuesday, or the week after will be on Tuesday,
and then on Wednesday starting at 1. And I'm booking people. It's jam packed. People that lots of YouTubers, a lot of surprise guests. It's going to be fabulous. I'm really excited. And
yes.
Did you get your priest outfit?
I did. I haven't tried it on yet, so I'm going to do that today. Make sure it fits.
So, and you can participate. You can participate. Just tweet out it like Instagram, whatever. Use the hashtag Star Wars Funeral and do a eulogy, as one does, and then we can show your eulogy during the live show and react to your eulogy. Now, a eulogy is not like a montage of Star Wars scenes. People have been sending me videos to show. That's not what I want. I want creative, and I want you to give like a 1-minute eulogy to Star Wars. About a minute. That's all you have to do. What it means to you. If it's a 90 seconds, fine. But about a minute, that's your assignment, and we will watch it. It's gonna be
don't put music behind it.
Yeah, no music. Like, we're gonna vet them. Atomic Lori will watch them and go, this one's thumbs up. She'll put the links in the chat, and then we'll share them and watch them. That's what's happening next Wednesday.
Just say music will be an automatic no.
Yeah, exactly. So here's a tease. Alan, we're gonna have fun. Did you get your outfit?
Yes, it's.
I got mine.
I haven't tried it on yet.
Oh, wow!
I gotta make sure it fits.
Well, we're having a rehearsal this weekend. If you want to join,
are we? Okay, we'll see. Depends on when it is.
We'll see. All right. Oh, wait. I'm on my screen. I'm looking at. What's that about? Why did you play that?
Okay. All right.
All right. What?
Oh, I played it because I thought it would be funny.
Oh my God. All right, folks. here we go. Captain America Brave New World teaser has come out. We've got about a 90-second trailer. It has dropped. We've had some mixed trailers lately. Okay. The trailer for Gladiator 2 dropped, and I got to give a rant real quick. This is a quick rant before we get to the trailer. It actually ties in. It ties in. I got to say something. A freaking IKEA chair. So Gladiator 2 trailer, what did you just put? What are you doing?
No, you had the you're going to talk about Gladiator, and now but you have the Captain America Brave New World banner.
Alan, I know what I'm doing. Glenn, can you cut this, please? I'm trying to make a point.
All right.
It ties into Captain America, which is why I had that up.
Just go ahead.
You gonna make me play it again? A freaking IKEA chair. The Captain America 2 trailer has... God damn it! A freaking IKEA chair. The Captain America Brave New World teaser has dropped. We got about a 90-second trailer. A lot of new trailers have dropped, and the Gladiator 2 trailer dropped, and a lot of people reacted fairly positively. It looks like basically a remake of Gladiator with a diverse cast, and I don't think anyone has a problem with it. But what's weird, and I've seen this so often, is if there's a black person in a thing, somehow you have to play rap music. It's a weird thing that people think that they need to have. Like every time, like it's as bad as the movie Pretty in Pink. When Long Duck Dong comes out, every time this character, an Asian character in a Molly Ringwald, John Hughes movie, this Asian character would come out and you hear a gong. Why? Because he's Asian. And so now every time we have a trailer with like a black person in it, they feel they have to play rap music or some hip hop thing or a riff that's, and you know who's making that decision? The white women in the marketing department are making that decision. And it's infuriating. It's so stupid. And I mean, I think Gladiator, a great orchestral score. And as soon as it gets to the rap, it's garbage. Yeah, you're right. 16 candles. Thank you for the correction, Razorburn. I haven't had coffee this morning. Let's just play the trailer. Obviously, I should have finished a cup of coffee before I started the show. All right.
We have Grumpy Chris today.
I just need coffee. I need one cup of coffee before I start, obviously. So let's just watch this. Okay, you ready, Alan?
Yes, let's do this.
All right.
Let's get it started.
Wilson. Thanks for coming in. Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look. They said lose the mustache or lose the election. You and I haven't always agreed in the past, but I want to make a...
Friends, he's been recast, right?
Yeah, so that's clever, right? That's clever.
It's a little meta, but yeah. Oh, do you realize it opens on Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
What do you... So you take your loved one to see Captain America on Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. That's the weekend it falls, and the Thursday happens to be Valentine's Day.
All right.
Okay.
Let's finish this.
Another run at making Captain America an official military position. And if we disagree on how to manage this situation, then what happens? Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward. Isaiah! Sir, your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that, or you don't want to. What if it's a trap? Global power is shifting. You're just a pawn. You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers. You're right. I'm not.
You know what this trailer needed?
Let's go back.
You know what this trailer needed? It needed rap music.
Right. There we go. Red Hulk
There it is.
grabs the shield.
There it
Now
is.
wait. So Sam Wilson does not have superpower.
No, he doesn't.
Are they going to explain that he does a lot of super powdery stuff? He can with his wings break the sound barrier. We
Yeah.
saw one shot.
Yeah, and I think he threw the shield through the White House. I'm pretty sure that was a selective edit there, but yeah, there's an implication that maybe he could throw the shield through the White House.
Honestly, I think it looks like a good action movie. It's back to the Winter Soldier, more serious take.
Yeah.
Political intrigue. You know, I just think it's going to be weird with Thunderbolt Ross. He's going to turn into that's Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk.
Yeah.
It's going to be dumb.
Yeah, but they have to set him up for the Thunderbolts, which comes out later next year. So I'll say this: I've seen the majority of that trailer at CinemaCon, but more in context of the movie. That it wasn't cut up like a teaser like that. What they added though was Giancarlo Esposito. I never saw that, and then obviously the Red Hulk stuff they added. And the impression we got from CinemaCon was that they want to return to the political intrigue of Winter Soldier.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's better than I thought. I mean, my expectations were low. It actually looks and I like Anthony Mackie. I like him. Mm-hmm. Can he carry a movie? I don't know. Like,
can he carry the movie as Captain America or can he carry the movie as Falcon?
And they have to explain he's a human. Mm-hmm. Now, a very, skilled, strong, like let's give him that, but he's not a super soldier.
Yeah. He could be like Hawkeye, just has good dexterity, good aim, good,
Right. Like
we can let that go. That's here's the thing though. Marvel's a position where it has to sell us their movies. We're not blindly going in and saying, "Oh, we're just going to see a movie, a Marvel movie, because it's a Marvel movie." They have to prove to us that this is going to be a good movie and it's going to be worth your time. And I don't know necessarily that this trailer does it.
Yeah, I would agree. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to your comments here, starting with at the top, and starting with the super chat.
Okay, from mjuk84 for $2 Hey Frank, MacBook isn't working. Can you help?
Absolutely. Just send me $600 to my personal account. I'll get it fixed. All right, from the top.
DM him on X.
Yeah, DM me. I'll give you my PayPal.
Okay, from Eval Raman. Yes, theaters are dying. I'm in Angelino. Way too expensive to go to theaters. As for Star Wars, the zombie Star Wars now.
It's zombie Star Wars now.
It's zombie Star Wars now. Sons and Shadows. Ultimately, decent trailer. It reminds me of Olympus Down. Air Force One crossed with Enemy of the State. My issue is Mackie is not a leading man, and Hulk is pink for V-Day.
Yeah, I don't think Anthony Mackie can carry the movie, and I like him.
Yeah. What did you think of the "You're not Chris Rogers. You're not Steve Rogers. I'm not."
No, that was a good line. It was good.
Was it?
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Really? It just sets him up as it's not like he said it like, "I'm not Steve Rogers. No, I'm Sam Wilson." You know, the idea that I'm my own man. It just felt like it was just the admission that he's not as good as Steve Rogers.
All right,
okay. Bruce. Yes, here we go. Bruce Leroy Jenkins for 2. I'm not over or under, just whelm. Exactly. What, you know, they have to sell it. They have to sell this movie to get us in. For Benjamin, let me guess. The white president is bad.
Yes.
Yep, they all are. Mr. D-Man 21. Yeah, we don't want a president with a mustache. Solomon Thornton, cautiously optimistic, but it would have been more interesting having Bucky as Captain America.
Agreed.
Or how about Chris Evans as Captain America? Steve Rogers. From Film Threat, from Rumble, Matthew Hammond. Just from Matthew Hammond, I believe this is a missed super chat. For $5, did you see Gary of Neurotic cut the Gladiator 2 trailer on X where he put the Smash Mouth All-Star? It fits better than it should.
He puts in Smash Mouth's All-Star. It fits better than it should.
Yes.
I'm just correcting her.
It was hilarious. I'll just say that.
I have not seen it, but I will. All right. We have 6 movies to review today. Let's get to them. Let's go. Let's start with a film I have not seen. No, should we start? Let's just start top to bottom on these.
Okay. Oh, top to bottom. There we go.
Alan, tell me about Fly Me to the Moon, which is in theaters and then coming to Apple TV Plus.
Yes. Well, Fly Me to the Moon is thankfully not inspired by real events. It's the story of the Apollo 11 moon landing. What's happening at this point in time is that public support of the Apollo missions, the Apollo program, is waning. No one, the world doesn't believe we'll ever get to the moon. In fact, Congress is thinking about defunding the Apollo program. And so it's up to Dark Agent Mo Burkus, played by Woody Harrelson, to get support back for the Apollo mission. He hires Scarlett Johansson's character. I will find it here. Sorry, I'm looking at. Damn it, Scarlett Johansson's character. She is a PR agent. She is great at her job, and but because she's a woman, she's marginalized, and so she is hired by the Dark Agent to basically go into NASA, promote the Apollo program, get congressional funding, and as a side mission, maybe have to fake the actual landing during its broadcast.
There's this shadowy character played by Woody Harrelson named Mo Burkus, who works directly for the president, and they don't want anything to go wrong. Yes. So they convince Scarlett Johansson's character, Kelly Jones, that's her character's name, to fake footage of the moon landing in case something goes wrong. They have to at least pretend to land on the moon no matter what to basically beat the Russians.
Yes.
This did not happen.
Right. Now what we haven't mentioned is this is a romance too between Kelly and
Cole Davis is the character with Channing Tatum. See, what I do, Alan, is I have all the info in front of me, which makes me sound smart.
Yeah. Well, I do. I have the review I wrote in front of me, and and then my dyslexia is mixing all the words up together.
So you have Scarlett Tatum.
I'm going. I know I put the character's name on here. I have everyone else's name on here, and then but because I decided to take creative license in my review, I chose a different way to reveal Scarlett Johansson's character than the normal way. So there we go.
It's a weird romantic comedy. And Scarlett's character, Kelly, is so annoying. It's all the modern stuff that, she's, feisty, and she has like a secret past that haunts her about her and her mother being saleswomen.
Right.
It was just weird. And by the way, this movie pissed me off. I love films about NASA. Love them. Documentaries, stories about the time that are accurate. And this, to try to make a comedy out of all of this and not a funny one. Jim Rash plays this director character that he's very flamboyant. It's just so, he's a flamboyant film director. I'm directing the scenes of landing on the moon. And he's flirting with the like Secret Service agents. It's so dumb. Like I wanted to like this movie. I'm like, and they shot at NASA. I mean, amazing scenes of these giant warehouses with equipment. I've been to JPL on a tour, Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena. I've been there. It's amazing. You can see these huge buildings where they're assembling like probes and satellites. Like it's like the detail that they go into. It's incredible. Like the work and to have it just turn into a nothing thing. And it wouldn't bother me if it was funny. It wouldn't bother me if it was funny. It's not funny. It's annoyingly modernized in terms of like the attitudes. And I walked out just really not liking this film. So I can't recommend it. Alan, what about you?
No, I can recommend it. I liked it.
What?
Look, it's not
what?
Look, it's not the greatest movie ever made. It's a passable movie. I'll just say that. It probably should have gone right to Apple TV as opposed to going to the theaters. In terms of what you say about the Kelly Jones character, I mean, it's very, very typical of 60s, the 60s feminism movie films, Doris Day and all that stuff.
Right.
It's very on par with that. I mean, I think it captured the spirit of the 60s in that. And look, I like the fact that they made no attempt to say that this movie really happened. It just took the setting and made a rom-com out of it. And the best I can say is I laughed at times. I thought there were it could have been better than it was, but it wasn't as bad. And so it really gets a marginal recommendation from me.
Well, it gets a non-recommend from me. I just wow.
Ray Romano. I really love Ray Romano in this movie.
I like all the actors. Yeah. I like Channing Tatum. I like Scarlett Johansson, Ray Romano. And there's like bit parts by actors whose names I don't know who were also very good. Those two scientists, the sort of nerdy, geeky scientists, the pair.
Yeah. The thing about this is it should have been, it really should have either leaned into the rom-com or leaned into the sci-fi comedy. Because I thought the rom-com, if you look at it just as a rom-com, it works until you get to this fake moon landing, where a large chunk of this movie is about that, and that has nothing to do with romance. I mean, you get the idea of how that is brought into bringing the two characters together, maybe, it was a little bit all over the place, but I still had a good time with it.
I did not have a good time. But it you know what it feels like? This is a streaming movie. It's fine. At the end of the day, it's fine. It's 2 hours, light entertainment, not going to change your life. It's not great. It's not bad. It's streaming. That's what you can say about a lot of films now. It's not great. It's not bad. It's streaming.
Yeah. I mean, if they had lesser stars other than Scarlett Johansson, Channing Tatum star in this, it would have gone to streaming. But because you have those two, that's why it gets the theatrical boost. And we'll see what kind of star power they bring in this weekend.
Well, I'll just say this. The character I like the most in the movie is NASA. No, seriously.
No, I get it. I get what you're saying.
The rocket ships, the setting, like I was like, God, I've never toured NASA,
Mhm.
so I would like to go. Like this just made me want to go tour NASA.
Yeah.
But the story and everything else was like, oh, it was bad.
I've been there.
It was bad.
I've been
So
there. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
it gets a mixed review from me. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on here. Let's do.
We do our chat. We gonna do the chats?
Oh, is there chat? Are there comments?
Yes,
Okay,
there are.
yeah. We're not going to have time to do a lot of comments between reviews. We have 6 reviews today, and we have a guest coming in an hour.
Right. Well, we get at least 2. Okay. Phone punk. So the plot of Capricorn 1. Yes, but with
No,
sex.
Capricorn 1 was entertaining. It was a thriller.
Mr. D-Man 21. Fly Me to the Moon. So it's not a movie about Tony Bennett.
Nope.
Death Racer 777 for 20. Thank you. You can see the landing sites and the tracks left by the lunar rover through the LOR satellite and large telescopes on Earth. In my opinion, the greatest technological achievement by America and the world in history. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, the movie's on. And I'm awed by what I'm seeing. These giant buildings that house these rockets. It was just.
Yeah, you took the movie too seriously. That's what you did.
No, I didn't take it seriously. I was like, oh. And then the movie was happening. It was getting in the way of what I wanted to look at.
We'll see the Apollo 11 doc. From Death Racer 777 for 10. Alan, talk about your dad working on the Apollo program. Okay, real briefly. My dad was part of the probably most boring part of the Apollo mission. He was a designer and engineer of the second stage rocket. That's what he worked on. Helped design it, helped craft it. The second stage rocket, what does that do? Well, the first stage launches you into out of the atmosphere. The second stage puts the lunar unit in orbit around the Earth. That's what the second stage rocket does. That's what he did. And then it's the third stage that sends them to the moon. So all his engine did was get him in orbit around the Earth.
Well, there you go.
But it was cool. It was cool. And we have all this. We have all the receipts at my dad's house. And Fletcher, I Suck at Games Williams channel. Alan, switch from the Disney money to the Apple money. That's right, Disney Cash. Well, like I said, I'm getting that MacBook Pro next week, right, Chris?
Yeah, $600. That's all you owe me. Yeah, we'll just do fewer comments in between movies, but we will do your comments. I apologize. I didn't realize we were reviewing so many films today. So let's do this one.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let me pull it up here. There we go. All right. So Sing Sing is in theaters now. I actually saw this at South by Southwest and talked a little bit about it. But it stars Coleman Domingo as John Divine G. Whitfield. And what's happening here is Divine G is in prison at Sing Sing. And he's part of a program, a rehabilitation program within Sing Sing called the Rehabilitation Through the Arts Program. And what it basically does is it encourages inmates at Sing Sing to just act. They bring in a professional director. He gives them acting exercises. They'll do a play or they'll write their own play, and they will basically spend their time in prison learning the craft of drama and acting. In this case, though, they decide that the next production is one that they're going to do on their own. They're going to write it themselves. And you bring these guys together to basically brainstorm what that script is going to be. And it winds up becoming kind of a review. But that's really not the point of the movie. The point of the movie is the program itself. This is basically a drama starring the people who were once in the program, to basically say that what a great program this is, and the struggles they went through, and that conversion from being a hardcore inmate to finding redemption in life through acting and through drama. And that's what this story is. And so while the plays are going on and while people are learning to act, you're also dealing with life in prison. for some of them, they were in prison for crimes that that probably didn't deserve the punishment they got. Some of them were innocent. Some did do the actual crime. But one of the things about this is you're seeing just kind of the growth and development of these men over time. At the end, it points out that I believe the recidivism rate for people involved in this program was 2%. 2% of people involved in the program, 98% of the people involved in the program never went back to prison after being released. So this is a very feel-good, issues-oriented kind of drama. It stars the actual people in the program. It's worth watching. Just we don't get movies about redemption. We don't get movies about hope, and this is one of those movies.
Well, I have a question. I saw the trailer for this. Is it a documentary?
No, it's a drama. It was written by Divine G, I believe, and based on stories from the other prisoners. But the people who are in the program, I would say, except for Coleman Domingo and another character, this movie stars the people who are actually involved in the program.
Yeah, it looks, but there's a thing where, they ask Coleman Domingo, "Are you acting?" So is that in the story?
No, well, he plays, Coleman Domingo plays the guy who wrote the story.
Okay.
So
is it like a strange narrative, the way the story's told? Like, it's sort of...
No, it's a straightforward narrative. It's weird because Divine G does appear as one of the minor characters, but Coleman plays him as the one leading this, and it is a straightforward drama. Let's just put it that way. There's nothing meta, nothing, no time jumping in this one. It's
gotcha. Do you recommend Sing Sing?
I absolutely recommend it. Yes.
Great. Let's go to comments here.
Yes, from Go Jamsin 199. Thank you for that. And from MJ UK 84 for 2 Canadian. Hail Film Thread. Did you see Race for Glory? Thoughts?
I did not. Alan?
I don't know what that is. No.
Sorry about that. Juke 84. So now we can have some comments, like 5, but not 0 comments, which is what we have.
Okay, here we go. Mike MC Wong says, has to be better than the insipid Sing cartoon movies.
I like the Sing cartoon movies. All right, let's do another review here. Let's do Dandelion.
Okay.
You would set that up, Alan. What are we doing?
Dandelion.
Hey, let's not get derailed. Let's get.
Okay,
we got so much stuff to do.
Go for it.
We got so much stuff to do.
Go.
You gotta help me.
Do it.
Help me.
Go.
Do a show. Jesus fuck. So I can't believe it.
We just got demonetized. There we go.
That's how I feel today. I'm just. Alan, tell us. We both saw.
I didn't know. I did not see this movie.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No, we have a doc here where we indicate what movies we saw and what we didn't see, and I put my movies that I saw on the doc. I don't see your name on it. Weird.
All right, Dandelion is a romantic drama involving Kiki Lane plays a character named Teresa. She is a struggling musician just trying to make her way. She works at a hotel bar on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and she's very talented, way more talented than someone that should be working in a hotel bar. She goes to a music festival where she meets Casey, played by Thomas Doherty. He is also a struggling musician, but far more successful. He's even got some success at this small music festival. He's kind of a minor celebrity. She becomes romantically involved with him. They connect not only over their music, but their mutual affection. And come to find out, he may be previously involved, and there is a lot of drama. This is not a romantic comedy. It's a romantic drama, with the backdrop of a music festival and 2 talented musicians. I'll say this. The movie reminds me of the Mumblecore films, which is what Greta Gerwig came from. if you look up the genre, mumblecore is a very naturalistic acting style and story style where the camera is kind of a voyeur and things just happen and unfold. It's I'd say that at the 2-hour running time, it's a little long. I'd say this film would have been better at being a tighter, shorter. The thing that sucked me in is the two leads. Kiki Lane and Thomas Doherty are fantastic, not just as actors, but musicians. The music is, it's just great to see a black actor, Kiki Lane, as Teresa, in a film, and she's singing really beautiful folk music with an acoustic guitar. And she's incredibly talented. So the two leads is what makes it. And the story is not as interesting as their relationship, which of course goes to places you may expect, being that the film is based in reality. I really enjoyed the music and the performances of the actors. I thought the story was left a lot to be desired. It feels like some of the film may have had like a loose script and not really a strong, tight script. So they kind of found the story while they were making it. That's why it has this mumblecore thing where people and mumblecore, I mean this as a compliment. Mumblecore is an acting style, a story style where things just feel real. It doesn't feel like, fly me to the moon. That's how people act in movies. In this movie, Dandelion, this is how people act in real life. And I should say her name is Dandelion in the film. That's what the name she gives to people, her performer name. So it's directed by Nicole Regal, comes from IFC Films. And I think if you're in the mood for a movie like this, a very pensive, like character-driven indie film with amazing music, you'll like it. But it gets a soft recommend from me. I'd say a 6 or 6.5 out of 10. I just thought the running time was not necessary for the story. It dragged a little, especially in the third act. But
we've seen this story before. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying I've seen this many times in indie movies. It's kind of cliche.
And they feel improvised. You talk.
Yes, it did feel like they were finding, but that's also part of the naturalistic style. And like I said, Greta Gerwig did movies like this early in her career. They were just kind of these, let's find the story while we are making it.
Yeah, but one thing about these improvised movies, and I don't know if it's true for this one, but in an improvised movie, the temptation is for the actors to talk their way into finding something. And so it just feels like they're just talking for the sake of talking, hoping that some magical nugget will appear that will bolster the story forward. Does it feel haphazard like that, or does it feel like distinct art to it?
No, it feels like they knew a place they wanted to get to, and the actors had to find it. That's what it felt like to me, and I have no confirmation of that. But that's why it dragged,
Yeah, and I'm just not a big fan of that kind of drama. I get it if you have a script with lines, but you find your own way around those lines. That's one thing.
I feel there was a script for them. There were things they had to say, but they kind of found it. But that also is part of its charm. It feels real. It doesn't feel like Fly Me to the Moon, which is so over-scripted, over-planned, so cliche, cringe, roll your eyes lines. This doesn't have that. It's a naturalistic acting style. Go watch the trailer to decide whether this movie is for you or not, because when it's borderline recommend, mixed review, you really need to decide for yourself, because I saw the trailer. I said, I got to see this. And the music is really what makes it. The two leads are so good, so talented. You can't fake that.
Yeah.
She's got an acoustic guitar. She's performing these songs. So it was really great in that instance.
Yeah. I'll just say I'm glad I didn't see it, especially at a 2-hour runtime.
No,
I think
it's
I would have been. Yeah, I think I would have been I would have been overwhelmed by
like I say, see the trailer. You can
Okay.
determine whether this film is for you.
Okay.
Quick comments here. Look, this is great. Just the right amount of comments.
There we go.
I feel like Goldilocks. Thank you, Lori.
All right. Sindek became a YouTube member. Thank you for that.
The super chat's a priority.
Yes. Knee Pain. Hey, Knee Pain for 2. Ordered my shirt. Hope I can make it for 7/17.
Yeah, we are having about 50 guests. So we're going to rotate people in. I have a schedule, Knee Pain, and you got to kind of find, like, I'm available. It's going to be probably at least a 6-hour show. So I'm sending out to specific people, put in the time slot that you would like to come in.
All right. And here's the important question. What time does it start on Wednesday?
1 p.m.
1 p.m. Okay.
And we'll go to probably late.
Whew. All right. From Go Jamson for $4.99. Regarding Gladiator 2, would it be more authentic if Denzel was directed not to use the big grin, just as Tom Cruise didn't use his for Collateral?
Yeah. Denzel, I love. He seems out of place. He seems like he's in a modern times and not in Gladiator times, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get it, but it is Denzel.
I love
Denzel for 5. I'm George Slayer's editor. You guys are nuts. Love your humor. Hurricane Barrel hit George's area hard. He's okay. Glad to see you back, Chris. Mad respect.
Thank you, Sindek. That's great. I mean, you know, if you're not working for George for a while, you know, maybe we could use your help on some stuff. If George is
to your comment, thoughts and prayers to George.
Yeah. Yeah. Thoughts and prayers to George. Yeah. That's why I was making a joke. Oh my God. Thanks, Sindek. Appreciate it. I watch George on Sundays. He keeps inviting me. It's like, I do stuff on the weekend. I don't want a YouTube on the weekend. I want a weekend. But I love George's show. You do great job, Sindek.
All right, from Razorburn, a member for 7 months. Thank you for that. I will be there on the 17th. I'll be wearing my Dune Film Threat t-shirt.
Thank you for that, Razorburn.
And default name for 327. Thank you. No comment.
Perfect comment.
Is it no comment or no comment? Razorburn also says, please don't fight daddies.
We fight all the time.
Apparently, y'all love it. Davina Duckworth, does Mumblecore have subtitles?
No, look it up. It's a genre of indie film where people it's very character driven and people kind of find the story while they're acting. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it's terrible.
That's it right there. If you know what you're doing, it works. If you don't know what you're doing, it comes off as pretentious and cringy.
I'll give you a recommend. The Duplass brothers came from Mumblecore. One of their first features is a movie called The Puffy Chair. It's about 2 brothers and one of the guy's girlfriends, Mark Duplass's girlfriend in the movie, are going across country to pick up a chair for their dad that they found on eBay. And it's about what happens on the trip. It's very entertaining. And that's a Mumblecore movie. Mm-hmm. It's like 20 years old. So check that out.
Yes. Fish Jones, Hitchcock said movies are real life with the boring bits taken out. Indie film leaves the boring bits in.
Ooh, that's astute observation, Fish.
I wouldn't argue with that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sindak for 2, thank you again. Laughing my A off. Always open for work. I spilled my lemonade.
Oh no!
Yeah, now that George is out of service, I guess you can work for us now.
We have our producer, editor Glanuccio, but if we are in need, I will reach out to me because we are looking to do other things. So there you go. Cool.
And thoughts and prayers to George.
Thoughts and prayers to George. All right. See, Alan and I made up.
Yeah,
We made up. Isn't that great, Alan?
it was great. Felt great.
I'm just going to say this up front, that Longlegs is one of my favorite horror films I've seen this year.
And you've said that already this year too.
Well, no, favorite. Will it be the best? We'll see. Terrifier 3 is out in October. But Longlegs, I was riveted. It's about an FBI agent played by Micah Monroe. She is Lee Harker. And she's an FBI agent who is kind of autistic, and she may or may not have psychic abilities. Nicolas Cage plays Longlegs, a character that can only be like snatched right out of Silence of the Lambs. And this movie is going to be compared a lot to Silence of the Lambs because of Lee Harker's sort of uncharacteristic FBI agent feel. Lee Harker's mother is played by Alicia Witt, which ties into it. Blair Underwood plays Agent Carter. That's her boss. And they're on the hunt for a killer who is leaving messages, always signing them Longlegs with a code. And somehow it all deals with families that end up killing themselves, but it all happens around a certain date. And this has been happening for years, and they cannot figure it out. The tone of this thing, the audience I saw it with were dead silent. It just captures your attention. So well done. So well done. And Lee Harker, this character, I mean, is just so well-rounded, so just riveting. I can't describe it. It's everything from the music to even Nicolas Cage. You don't see his face for most of the movie. They kind of crop his face out. He looks so creepy. It's, oh God, kudos to Nick Cage. He always takes interesting roles. And he had a lot of makeup on. You can barely recognize him in this, but man, this film just, I'm by design, I'm not telling you much about the story because I don't want to ruin it. I will say I wasn't 100% satisfied with the third act, but damn, I could not predict what was going to happen. It was so just caught my attention, and I loved it. Strong recommend for this. 8 out of 10. Go in with, don't watch any. I saw the trailer for it. The trailer for this movie is terrible. It doesn't capture what it's about. It's also, by the way, set in the 90s, like early 90s. So there's no technology or Google or any of this. They're using old school, detective methods to solve the crimes. And it's just, my God, I was blown away, and I was just in my seat. I couldn't move. And just, I don't know where I feel like I've seen Micah Monroe before in something.
What It Follows. She got a break in It Follows.
Yes. Okay. I just love the film. It was really the tone of it. It's so serious from the beginning. It lays out this drama that it's like I couldn't move in my chair. And the whole audience was like this. And then, yeah, people clapped at the end. It was like, and then people were kind of like freaked out during parts. It goes to places you would not expect. So it's like an indie version of Silence of the Lambs in some respects.
Now, are you saying?
I know I haven't said anything much about the story. All these families are killing themselves, and they can't figure out, so the dad in the family killed everyone and then killed himself. And this keeps happening with these letters being left. So how is this happening?
And you're saying that Nick Cage plays the Hannibal Lecter type role in terms of...
No, I don't want to say.
You don't want to say?
He plays a character named Longlegs. He's in the opening of the movie. He's right in. Nick Cage is Longlegs.
Okay.
And oh my God.
Should I see this one? That's the other.
Yes, I actually think it's not like it's not a monster movie, right? Like it's not like a creature or a monster in that respect. But if you liked Silence of the Lambs, you will love. And the lead character, this Harker is her name.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish I could see more movies with this character. It feels like this could be there are more stories to tell with this agent. And oh my God, I was just loved it. I'll probably go see it again for sure.
All right, I'll think about it.
I couldn't believe how packed it was. I'm like, all right, it's a horror movie. I'm usually the only person that packed.
Yeah. No, people want to watch good movies.
But it's not horror like I say a monster or like let's kill the monster. There's more to it. And like
well, yeah, no, my point is theater audiences are more discriminating today than they have ever been. And you've got to put out a good movie, a guaranteed good movie to get people to go out and see it.
Well, I'm not gonna argue with you on that for sure. Yeah. You know, but it just really was. It had great twists and turns, and this Lee Harker character, she's weird. She's like a little autistic, but she kind of has premonitions, and so she gets vibes from things like something's wrong here, but
so
she doesn't.
Yeah, you're saying you could build a franchise around this character.
Yes, it was so well done. She's so good. So I really was just surprised by this film. But the trailer is awful. It doesn't describe the movie. Don't watch the trailer.
The trailer is a horror film. It is an upright horror film.
It's more. I don't want to say anything more. I know I'm being vague, but if you like this type of movie, you would like this film. It's 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. So and it just came out. So there you go. Recommend for Longlegs. Let's go to comments here.
All right.
Again,
we'll start
wait a second. I have to say the perfect amount of comments. Just want to say thank you, Lori.
Mike MC Wong, even better than The Coffee Table. Two very different movies.
Different. It's different.
And I will not see The Coffee
Table. I think you would like it.
What, this one or The Coffee Table?
Longlegs.
Okay. MJ UK 84. You're always going to be entertained with Nick Cage.
Absolutely. Hell
yeah. SWD 40. Hello, ma'am. This is Detective Asperger's.
Yeah, well, that's Oh, Retro Nerd Girl. Hey,
OMG, I am finally catching a live show, hearing amazing things about Longlegs.
Yes. It's so like this character of this FBI agent, this woman is so good. It's I want to see more movies with her. This is like, people complain about like girl boss characters and like she's just great character. And this is not that. So yeah, hey, thank you, Retro Nerd Girl.
And then absolutely ruddy cough, Red Dragon cough. Or Red Dragon.
It certainly owes something to that. Like it is a nod to those films, but it isn't those films. If you like things like Twin Peaks, True Detective, you will really love Longlegs.
All right, maybe I'll see it.
We'll see. All right, let's do this, Alan. I know what you want to review.
Yes, let's talk about this. Is going to be a fun one? Just because just talking about this movie could get us canceled. This is the story of this documentary. I believe it's coming out on Showtime about Louis C.K. and his troubles as of late. Louis C.K. does not appear in this movie, but everyone who has a beef or problem with what Louis C.K. did and said is in this movie, and a lot of journalists too. But if you're not aware, Louis C.K. Got himself in a bit of trouble. Apparently, he likes to whip it out when being when in the presence of fellow female comedians. And did it happen? Well, Louis C.K. At one point admitted, yes, everything he is being accused of is absolutely true. And this story just kind of goes into this phenomenon of cancel culture, of Louis' form of Me Too. I'll say this. This is one of those where just by talking about it, we're going to get in a lot of trouble because we're going to ask questions. It doesn't want you to ask questions, the documentary, but you are going to ask questions. I'll say this: if I did what Louis C.K. did, I would be canceled, and I would feel like, yeah, I was justified in being canceled. That's just something I would never do and wouldn't tolerate. I wouldn't even tolerate if my daughter was with someone who did this thing. And I don't necessarily like being around people like who go into this extreme locker room talk. I'm not a prude, but there are limits to where I'll just not want to be involved in a conversation. But at the same time, do I want a person like that to not have their job? Do I want a person like that to not succeed in life? I may not like the person or what they do, but I'm not going to wish bad things to happen to them. And that's what this documentary just feels like. We just decided that what Louis C.K. did was as bad as Harvey Weinstein. And by asking that question of, well, was it really as bad as Harvey Weinstein? People got canceled for even just asking that question. I'll even throw out the idea of Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres created a toxic work environment where people feared for their jobs every day going in. Was that worse than what Louis C.K. did? Was that as bad as what Harvey Weinstein did? What's weird about the movie is it doesn't point out the hypocrisy of the discussion, but it just amplifies the fact that, when you're watching this, I think it really wants you to believe that Louis C.K. is Weinstein. And I don't think you can walk away from this movie thinking that he is. And then it just lays into, his comeback. The third act of this movie is about the comeback and whether he should have, people saying, well, who allowed him to return? Has he fulfilled his prison term? These are the questions. And then you get into the media of, the story of what Louis C.K. did evolved over time through the media to the point where, he might as well have been, we have no problems likening to Weinstein. And so it's weird that this movie is really trying to take down Louis C.K. But at the same time, I think it points out the problems that the media, the problems that the Me Too movement, the problems that people have, it just amplifies that. It exposes that unintentionally. And so this is just one of those weird documentaries. I'll say this, the people who felt hurt, who felt slighted, who felt assaulted by Louis C.K., I'll point this out not as an indictment, but as a question. But it feels like that these people are trying to get through their problems, get through their trauma in the media, as opposed to doing it through therapy. And that's the sense I got from this. And so, I don't know that I can recommend this, but if you want to look at the state of Me Too today, and you put on your critical thinking hat, this is probably a movie you want to watch just to get an understanding of what, where the battle lines are being drawn and what tactics are being used. And so, look, I'm not a big fan of Louis C.K., but I definitely don't believe in his cancellation for what he did. And we can, and right there, that statement I just made probably get me canceled.
Well, I have one big question because I have made a documentary film. I have another documentary film I've been working on for a long time. And I am a fan of the documentary film format. Music docs, pop culture docs, historical docs, political docs. I love documentaries. Documentaries today are terrible.
Yep.
For one reason. They are not balanced.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be a doc filmmaker would like, let's go on a journey. Let's tell the truth and see where it leads us. Every doc I see now has an agenda, a political agenda, some agenda about whatever the subject is. They've decided what the end will be before they start making the doc. And there are plenty of financing outlets that will finance films to specifically push an agenda. So all the issue-based docs, political or otherwise, I don't trust any of them. Can you trust, do you get the sense this movie, because somehow the New York Times was involved in this doc. It says from the New York Times on the poster.
Well, it's from the story the New York Times broke. That's what the movie is based on.
Do you get the sense that it was a balanced?
No, absolutely not. This is not a balanced movie. And that's why I was interested in this one, because it exposes how people with agendas portray, tell, frame stories. Because they are, this movie is 100% anti-Louis, and the people involved, they get their voice, they're being heard, and that's why I'm saying is, if look what Louis did, if you were involved in that, you need to talk to somebody, because going out and telling your story on social media and in the mainstream media is not going to help you. You need to talk to somebody. You need to talk to a therapist. One
big question: is Louis interviewed in the movie?
Nope. No, of course not.
Are there quotes from him, or
there are, of course, there are selected clips from his stand-up, especially the last one that came out that addressed this. The whole idea that that his last stand-up special was supposed to be an apology. You've got all these experts and journalists telling you why it wasn't an apology, and I'm like, oh my god. It's like it's just a stand-up act, and they're putting so much meaning into this that well, if this was his apology, this was not an apology, and he did more damage. That's the thing that comes out of this.
So it's like horrible conversations on Twitter, but as a movie.
Yeah. Well, it's like me hanging out with my liberal white friends.
So do you recommend Sorry Not Sorry?
If you are interested in culture and the culture wars, I would absolutely recommend this. If you're interested in a look at what happened to Louis C.K., no, absolutely not.
Yeah, it just, docs today are propaganda. I hardly see a doc today where I think, oh wow, the filmmaker is very unbiased, but it's because of money. Money controls what docs get made and what docs say. Because I don't know of any doc filmmakers who have butlers.
Yeah.
It's very rare doc filmmakers who are rich or have money. Maybe Brett Morgan, look him up. But very few doc filmmakers are financially successful, or doc filmmakers come from money and they get funding because of what they're going to say in the doc. I don't trust it. I haven't seen this, but I don't know that I have a desire to.
Yeah. I mean, look, like I said, this is one of those documentaries that if you don't agree with it 100%, you're a misogynist. You're as bad as Harvey Weinstein. And that's my problem with it, is that, a documentary at its best should be balanced and should ask questions, or should provoke you to try to answer questions. And this one doesn't want to do that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I from when I was a kid, I've always said, question everything.
Mm-hmm.
Question everything. Speaking of misogynists, let's go to our chat. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'm glad our
Start
chat
with
has
one
a
super chat here.
humor. Yeah,
It's
absolutely ready for 2 euros. Thank you for that. Michael Moore popularized dishonest documentaries. Absolutely.
Unfortunately, Michael Moore is funny. He's funny.
Yeah, I mean, if you take it as that, Michael Moore could be good, but
yeah.
Okay, Brock Samsonite. So this documentary tries to clear his name. Yeah, right.
No, it does not. It sounds like
no.
it tries to give voice to the victims.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Look, yeah. Okay. Spidey Sensei 72. I had no idea this movie was even being made. This is the first channel I've heard review it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you have
not getting why. Yes, right?
Yeah, look, it played at Toronto last year, and I believe Showtime picked it up, so it will probably be there. That's my understanding. Absolutely ready again. Thank you for participating. I don't like him, but he asked for consent. Let's be honest. Yep.
I would say that. Yeah, I would say that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, again, I wouldn't have done it. Triple Threat 305. He sells out arenas. The public decided he could return. That's an interesting thing, but you know, they always bring up Louis C.K. as the proof that cancel culture doesn't exist. Problem is, Louis C.K. has money, he has influence. For the rest of us, for the average person, cancel culture very much exists, and we don't have the money and the resources to overcome that. And so, when you lose your job, you lose your job, and it becomes very hard to find another one. Dennis Wright, documentaries are great persuasion for one side.
True.
And hey, it's me in HD. Gore is right. Gore's right. Modern documentaries have become all about agenda. And then finally, a super chat from Benjamin for 5. Thank you. Question Ken Burns as well. His Civil War doc is shown in schools, and he's a total leftist propagandist. His recent Vietnam doc was a disgrace.
Yeah, I think when doc filmmakers reach a certain level, they become compromised. But yeah. I wish we went back to the days of we'll see where the story leads us once we look at the facts. And that is not being done now. And it's really disheartening because I love documentaries. That's why I prefer pop culture docs or other docs but political docs and docs about issues like environmental documentaries, documentaries about food. Although the documentaries about food are actually really going hard after factory farming and a lot of other bad
things. That those are pretty one-sided. The documentaries,
well, still, but they question.
Yeah.
So
no, absolutely. Yeah. Look, I'll preview next week. There's a documentary I'll talk about next week that I feel is as balanced as it gets, and it's about the bankruptcy of the city of Detroit.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week because it comes
out.
All
right. We've still got more movies to review. I can't believe it's a big movie day, oddly enough.
Yes.
So, all right, let's get we'll do Touch next. I just,
you fucked that bitch.
That's the perfect. Oh my! That's the perfect video to show after that review.
Oh my gosh!
Alan is not a prude. Alan is not a prude. You act like you're.
Look, I know my boundaries.
All right, let's talk about the movie Alan and I both saw. The movie Touch.
Yes.
It's from the director Baltazar Kormacher. and it's based on Touch by Olafur Johan Olafsson book. It is a romance about a young man from Iceland who is living in London, where he's going to college, who gets a job at a Japanese restaurant as a dishwasher. He soon works his way up to being learning to cook, and
At a Japanese restaurant.
Yes, and the character Christopher is played by two people actually. Christopher is played by an older version of him and a young man. And it bounces back and forth between the two time periods. One is him old, one is him young. The story is, so they're parallel stories. The story taking place when he's a young man is he gets a job as a dishwasher at this Japanese restaurant where he meets Miko and ends up falling for the daughter of the owner of the restaurant. They have a romance that is a torrid romance, which they must keep secret from her father. All of this is happening in parallel with the present day storyline about Christopher trying to find Miko. He goes back to London, then he goes to Japan. You see his journey. He's late in life. His mind is not what it once was. He's slowly losing his abilities,
His cognitive.
And he wants to find the young love he had with this woman who he never forgot.
And let's also say that it's just at the beginning of the pandemic and lockdown.
Yes, it takes place. It's not that bad. It takes place during the pandemic, beginning of the pandemic. So that kind of plays into the story, but doesn't affect it all that much. In any case, this is like past lives for older people. And it is weird because people speak English, Japanese, and what do they speak in Iceland?
Oh, yeah. Icelandic.
Yes. So there's subtitles and then they all speak English too. And it works. It works. And I'll just say, people will be surprised to hear this. I am a sap. I am a romantic and a sap. And when it comes to movies like this, I think this is better than Past Lives. Better. And I won't get into details of the story, but it's one of those things where, God, I hope this movie isn't too long. It literally, when it got to the ending, I don't want to say what happens. I was like, oh, wow, this would be the perfect place to end the movie. It faded out and it ended. I have never felt that way. It's just the perfect, what these characters go through, what reveals and secrets come out as to the events and why things occurred. The chemistry between the young Christopher and Miko is so, it's sexy, it's romantic, it's about love and sacrifice, and about, I sat in a movie theater. This is true. I saw the 2:00 show. I'm in a movie theater and there's all men, single, in seats. What does that tell you?
A lot of people have Asian fetishes. That's what it tells you.
Exactly. But it was just, I don't know. I really liked it better than Past Lives, which I thought was about maybe regret or whatever. They were kids when they were friends, and was there something? I like Past Lives a lot. This is the much better version of that story, that kind of story about regret, loss, what could have been.
Mhm.
And my God, I was sucked in, and it's very emotional. Strong recommend for this. 9 out of 10 for me, but a really specific type of film. It's romance. It's not a comedy, right? But so well done. The way it's told, like, watch the trailer to see if it's for you, But I saw the trailer. I thought, I don't want to see the rest of the trailer. I must see this film. Alan, what did you
cry? Dennis Wright wants to know, did you cry?
I got choked up 100%. I got choked up. I mean, you got to see it. You got to see Alan, what did you think?
Yeah, I'll just say that just because Past Lives has Asians in it doesn't mean you should compare the two movies, because they're two very different stories. They're two different stories. Okay, I'll just start with the things that bugged me, but in general, I really like this movie. The first thing is I hate going into movies and then halfway through the movie realizing, oh, we're flashing back, that these are not two separate stories. This is the same person. That happened to me again. This is the third movie in 3 months that did this. And part of the problem is I didn't necessarily buy that older Christopher was the same person as younger Christopher, which is why that disconnection.
Oh, whatever. You cast the best actors.
No, but you should have that link to say that this guy is this guy. All right, minor, still like the movie. The second thing is it deals a lot with so when you go back into the past, it deals a bit with Japanese racism in Hiroshima. My feeling was we're so far removed from that it didn't, because it plays a big part, the whole the disdain toward Japanese, but it's like we're so far removed from it. It just, I didn't feel the impact of that for the characters.
Well, it was important at that time.
Yeah.
No, it was important.
No, I get that. In the context of the story, yes. But in terms of now, watching it in 2024 after the pandemic, look, even my family don't talk about the Japanese like that anymore. So,
right.
So, it's
there's a specific racism towards Japanese who survived Hiroshima that they might bear children,
mutant children, basically.
Mutant children, exactly.
Yeah. And so look, that was a real thing. I just felt like that it's not that it was wrong. It's not that it shouldn't have been brought up. It just doesn't bear that impact had the movie been made, back in the 60s, the 50s and 60s. Let me see. But I'll say this. Yeah. Once I figured it out, once I figured out what was going on, that's when it really kicked in. I think, honestly, I think the older love story was better than the younger love story.
No, but that's what's beautiful. It's two love stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Young love, and then end of your life. What have you done? Do you have regrets?
Yeah.
He has regrets in his life.
Yeah, and let me say this: this is that story of the guy who was intensely in love with a woman in his youth, in his college days. She disappears, and he goes to search for her. We've seen that story many times, but for some reason, the way that that third act, where it all resolves itself, I'm like,
don't say anything.
I won't say anything, but I will say it's fresh, it's unique, and I really loved it, and it just paid itself off. It paid itself off.
I loved it. That third act and the way it ended, was perfect. And the things how things played out, I just sat there and watched the credits.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, but we talk about these endings, these fade out endings, and where they occur, and it's the I want to know more. I want to see what happens afterwards. That's the kind of feeling you get with this ending, and it's just built up so well. So minor nitpicks. Once, like I said, know that this is the same guy and the same girl throughout the movie. And I think if you're looking for a love story, if you're looking for a good indie love story, this is a good one to go to.
It's a perfect love story, and we don't see these very often now. And there's no like agenda in it. There's politics in it, like the stuff with Hiroshima, but it's not pushing anything.
And the pandemic.
Pandemic stuff. It's just in the backdrop.
Yeah.
It's like he has to check out of this hotel early because the hotel's shutting down. Like it affects things that happen, but not in a meaningful way with no commentary. It's just there.
And I'll say Past Lives is a very different movie.
It is different, but people will make the inevitable comparison.
Yeah.
These two films.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. This movie's coming out in July. This is an Oscar movie.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I mean, it may get nominated for a foreign film, maybe get a nomination there. But I'll say this. Did I cry? I was choked up. I walked out of the theater wearing sunglasses. What does that tell you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had to kind of compose myself. It's really unexpected, and I strongly recommend it. I would not think that this movie would come out in the summer.
Well, it's Focus Features, and for some reason, Focus Features has a lot of movies coming out this year, and I think this is just their layout plan, and maybe they underestimated this film. Maybe that's the worst you could say about it.
Well, I think it's an early contender for an Oscar nom, especially knowing the Academy is older. So you got older romance, younger romance, all that. Like, I think
well, I mean, I definitely think you'll see it in the international film category, best international film.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see the best picture, though.
Have we said any other film we've talked about this year? Have we said Oscars at all? I mean, Dune Part 2 for, production stuff. Yeah. But any other movies? Have we said Oscars?
Gosh. I think there was one. I mean, look, as bad as it's doing at the box office, maybe Horizon has a chance.
Well, Touch is an early contender. And if you like this type of film, see the trailer. I strongly recommend it.
Look, it's a contender for best international film. I'm not throwing in the best film category, best picture category.
Let's go to comments.
All right. From Joe Chapman for £5. I was a Nat Geo documentary producer. It's the commissioning panel who rejects balanced pitches now.
Hey, Joe, thank you for that. Yeah, it's terrible. It's all about commissioning panel. It's the financiers. They want to make a statement. They think documentaries have to make statements. When you can make an environmental doc or a political doc and go, well, here's, look for balance. Let other sides have their say. I mean, we reviewed a documentary a couple of years ago about Trump.
Yeah.
And it was made by a British filmmaker. And it was the only one that was balanced because it talked to everybody.
Because remember Pelosi's daughter did a documentary about it as well. I think you said it felt balanced.
I interviewed her.
Yeah. Did you feel that film was balanced?
Around America and talk to Americans. That was her doc.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw bits of it. That's why I'm not reviewing it.
Right.
But it felt balanced, weirdly, from Pelosi's daughter.
Joe, you are right. It's all the people who put up the money. They are the ones that are controlling the message. No surprise. Maybe make a doc about documentary film financing. Seriously, a documentary about following the money for how docs are made and expose that the messages we get from docs are compromised, along with our mainstream corporate media. Joe, do it low budget, make that film. Maybe do a Kickstarter. Thank you for that.
All right. Steve from Pa for $5. Hey, Frank, the computer I bought from you didn't have a power cord. Enjoyed watching you rush for 16,000 yards over the years.
Well, thank you for that, Steve Frompa. I do appreciate it. I'm glad I'm back. I was only hacked for less than 24 hours, and I feel terrible about the whole thing.
And he's bringing up your illustrious football career as well.
That's right, Frank Gore. I should get the jersey.
All right. Absolutely ready. Another heterosexual romance. Damn. Yeah, go see Bottoms if you want a LGBT romance. KJ Jung says a romance with a man and a woman. Surprise!
Yeah, not only that, just a really touching romance that no agenda, no just tell a story.
Yeah. Okay, Nerd Far Away. Chris and I are both saps. Ha.
That's true. That's true. All right, let's pivot to another review. We're actually getting to all of them today.
I know.
That's crazy.
I hope you saw this one because I didn't.
Oh, wait, you didn't see it?
I didn't see it.
Typical Alan. Typical Alan.
I saw 4 movies yesterday. I can't see them all.
Oh, God. Lately, it has been rough.
Yeah.
It has been rough lately.
And then Disney sent us The Young Woman and the Sea screener.
Yeah. Good timing. Good timing on that. So, okay.
Are we doing this one?
Yeah, we are. I'm looking for stuff. I'm being you for a minute.
Well, we have a doc, and everything that we're talking about this show is on that doc. And if you just follow what that doc says, then
Alan and I fight a lot, but you got to know something. To be clear, I am a straight man.
And I am too.
And I'm super straight. But
and I am
also
engaged in a heterosexual relationship.
Yeah, and we're both straight. We want to get that.
Yes, I'm in a heterosexual relationship.
I'm putting it out there.
I'm all on board with Bress.
That Alan and I are straight.
I stand with them and in between them. I'm glad my wife doesn't watch the show.
That would make her laugh. You don't think it would make her laugh?
No, it would.
Okay, let's talk about The Convert. The Convert, it's a story set in the 1830s in a British settlement, and there is a war between Maori tribes. This is in New Zealand, of course, and it's a preacher gets caught up in this bloody war. The preacher is Thomas Monroe, played by Guy Pearce, and I will say that a lot of the Maori actors look very authentic to these tribes, and you get a bloody war, and they introduce, unfortunately for the residents, muskets, and muskets turn the tide of the war. Whoever has the muskets will win. The priest ends up becoming friends, has a friendship with one of the natives, played by Tiori Intahi Melbourne. Her character's name is Ranji Mai, and they're trying to bring peace, but crazy as it sounds, these weapons of war do not bring peace. It culminates in a bloody battle in the third act, and I won't say what happens, but the weapons only complicate things. This is a historical drama based on real history. And I'll say this, it just seemed a little too modern day invoked in to this film, which kind of threw me off a lot. Like that sort of bugged me a little bit. The way that Guy Pearce's character acts, he seems just way too progressive for a priest in the 1800s. And so it felt like, what is this? And then the relationship he has with this young woman who he befriends just seems so off. I just didn't buy it. So, and I felt like it seems like a movie that was commissioned by the New Zealand Film Council to tell a piece of New Zealand history with the native, the indigenous people and the colonials, right? The settlers, the colonists, all that. Like there is like this scene with I can't say it, but it's basically they come to some agreement with the colonizers which just lays the message out. This is at the end of the film. It just speaks the theme of the movie, which lost me. So it was like, all right, it's slow moving, slow build, big battles. Oh, I'm interested. And then here's the message of the film. See it? We're saying the message of the movie right now about the colonizers, which ruined it. I can't recommend this movie. It's too on the nose. It feels like there was an agenda at play, and can't recommend it. Really. I mean, it was like, I like a little, oh, here's a piece of history in a part of the world I didn't know much about. And I just wasn't, I don't know. I wanted to like it. I love Guy Pearce. He's great. The Maori, the indigenous actors are good, very good. But the on the nose messaging lost me. So I can't recommend The Convert.
So don't fight wars with guns. That's
exactly. So this is I give it a 3 or a 4 out of 10. I just don't like where it's like the financing again dictating the message. And it's the final scene in the movie where that they just overtly say out loud what the whole point of this is. And I think that's bad writing.
Well, I got to ask you. So, how is Guy Pearce? He seems to be
he's very good.
Well, he seems to be going down the indie film route. That I think he's says, my big studio films are behind me, and he's really going out and supporting indie films.
Right.
So you're saying he's good?
He's good. He's always good. So, all right, let's go to your comments.
All right, from MJ Ook for 84. It's not Maori, geez. He says it's Maori. Cooper said Maori. Just Maori.
All right.
Okay. Kevin Appel, have you guys talked about Longlegs yet?
See, we have talked about Longlegs. This is just quick aside. This is not a chat to highlight because you can answer that in the chat, or the other people around the person chatting can answer that question. That's not a question Alan and I need to address in the live stream. Right, Alan?
Yeah, Lori, next time I star something like that,
Oh, you did it. Alan, Lori, can you make up for Alan doing stupid things? God, we talked about it. You can rewind the live stream.
Oh, I love it. All right. And then from Absolutely Ready.
No.
What?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Guy Pearce is about as consistent an actor as you'll ever see.
He's very good. He is very good. Yeah, basic questions like that. Like, the reason you highlight a chat comment is because it adds to the conversation. It comments on what we've talked about to give our chat a voice, not to ask. I don't even think the person who posted that chat wanted their chat highlighted. I disagree with you, Z. Alan is not the best. Alan is not the best. All right, we have a special guest joining us soon. So we're going to pivot to that in just a second. Yeah. So here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Found the video.
Do you have room for another hot dog, Mr. In?
Unless you can slip it in real quick.
That was not.
So you hate the fact that I'm winning over the chat.
You're not winning over the chat.
Take me down a notch.
It is amazing. She is the first female action hero ever in a movie.
Well, look, he's 19 years old. She's 32.
Whoa!
I love when you turn into a Power Ranger.
Again, that was a year ago. Can you believe that?
Hey, let's talk to director Brian Johnson about his movie, Population Purge. Hey, Brian, thanks for joining us on the show today.
I gotta love you guys' antics. Oh, wow.
We have a good time.
Oh, my God. I love it.
Population Purge could not be better timed.
Yeah.
A lot of dark things happening in the world. The concept behind this Population Purge, I don't want to go into a lot of detail, but it does involve a world pandemic of a sort, and clean blood and infected blood, and the commerce surrounding the sort of black market surrounding clean blood.
Right.
So tell us about the story for Population Purge.
Well, the whole premise actually started as a teaser. We were trying to get a teaser put together to do a feature film. It was originally going to be like just raise the money from the teaser, of course. And my wife and I just said, let's just put up the money ourselves, and obviously a low budget film. I mean, we couldn't put up a lot, but I put up enough because in order to bring at least a visual impact, if nothing else, because, I've spent 30 plus years as a cinematographer in the business, but this was my first feature film. And of course, that's a huge undertaking, even for a low budget film. But I went out there on the premise of finding all the possible ginormous backdrops that I could possibly get a hold of. And everyone bent over backwards for me. And as we kept going, I kept picking up more locations and more locations. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be epic. So, and that's kind of how it got started. And the pandemic sort of, that was in the back of our minds as well, but I didn't want to do a pandemic movie. It's been done. So I was wanting to do something a little bit different, bring some, dystopian setting to it, that kind of thing. Something.
Well, I gotta ask you about that. The setting is weird because it's like, the sets and everything, the locations. It reminds me of parts of LA now.
Yeah,
I'm not joking. I'm not joking. It looks like LA, parts of LA, like run down, garbage everywhere.
Right.
Graffiti. Like it's like you predicted what downtown LA would become.
Sure. Well, I lived in Burbank years and years ago, back in the 80s when I was out there for some time working out there and living in Burbank. So yeah, I get it. I get it. I mean, it was starting to crumble then.
Yeah, it's sad. So when I'm watching your film, it's like, oh, did you just use locations in LA? I mean, I know you didn't.
Right,
but,
right.
Yeah, no, it's very on the nose with that stuff. And yeah, the pandemic stuff is sort of in the background.
Right.
The story. It's part of it, but a lot of movies do that. You're not making some political statement,
right,
it's
sure.
there.
Yeah. I want to make sure I didn't get into that arena. I just wanted to kind of make it very neutral and have fun doing it. Make kind of a fun, out of the box, crazy mental characters, that kind of thing.
Now, how did you say you and your wife put up the money?
Yeah.
Like, that's a bold, not a Kickstarter, not an investors. You're like, let's make a movie.
Right.
What do I need this money for? Which,
exactly.
Exactly.
Well, I'm fortunate to do very well in the business as a cinematographer. And so that keeps me, and also I have a couple of corporate clients. That's, it keeps food on the table too. So I just saved enough, a few pennies and said, hey, let's do this. And, fortunately I own a lot of the equipment, a lot of the grip and a lot of the logistics was already taken care of from the, from the technical end of it. So I already had all that. It was just bring together a few guys who wanted to have some fun and just throw a little script together and see what becomes of it, And of course, I wish I'd had more money because, you look at your film and, I edited the film and I'm sitting there pulling my hair out the whole time thinking, oh, if I'd have had a little more money here, a little more money there, I could have done this, I could have done that. You know, that was the hardest thing about putting my own film together, because it's, even though we put up X amount of dollars, you still, I wanted more to be able to do it, you know, on another tier, I guess, you know, that kind of thing. But it is what it is.
We've got about 2,000 people watching live right
now. Okay.
Well, I got to ask you, you said not only did you put up your own money, but you wrote, you directed, you edited. I assume you're the cinematographer. I mean, do you like doing everything, or?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, like I said, I've been in the business mostly as a cinematographer, but I've also spent many years as an editor and also as a colorist. So, you know, I had kind of the both ends there. And I've directed a lot of commercials, a lot of high-end commercials, that kind of thing, but never a feature film where I wore this many hats. And yeah, it was very challenging. I mean, luckily I had the experience to, you know, look, you know, I want this, and this. It wasn't like a panic mode. I never went into that, you know, but I would not do it again. I would concentrate on one area that I could be my best at one area. Unfortunately, we didn't have the budget to bring in a whole team of, you know, I had a good team, but not on the level that, you know, I was used to working with. But hey, you know, it is what it is. And the guys I did bring in were good at what they did, you know. So kudos to them. And so anyway, I would not do it again. No.
I mean,
you know?
I would imagine doing all the roles, basically, does that make you too close to the project?
It does. It really does. Because so by the time I got to the editing process, nothing was good enough. You know, nothing. I would do a cut. I don't like it. I'd do another cut. All perfect. 2 days later, I don't like it. It was a struggle putting it together from an editor standpoint. So I wished next time I will let somebody else edit the film, because it was just, you know, but I'm I want to be a perfectionist, you know, and I want to say, well, I don't want to let it go to somebody else, but, you know, I've got to next time. So anyway, but you learn, you live and learn, you know.
We've got a lot of questions from our chat. Let's get to those, starting from the top.
Yes. Believe in yourself, member for 5 months. You guys continue to rock, eh?
Must be from Canada.
Yes. Let's see. Hey. From Rumble. ADL, it's from Rumble. What motivated you to make your feature film debut after your last 2 directorial efforts were shorts?
Well, it was sometime, the shorts that I've done was several years ago. It was nothing recently on as far as the shorts go. Well, after just doing other people's film, I did 3 features last year for other people, and over the past several years, I've done many features, and I just started scratching my head, you know, myself, going, wait a minute, I need to be doing this myself, you know, because I've always wanted to do my own feature film. And I said, I need to be doing this myself. So this is how it got started. You know, I got some friends of mine together. I said, hey, let's throw this little story together. We've got the gear. We've got a few people we can pull in, and let's just make it happen. You know, so that's really how it happened. You got to either do it or die. You know, I didn't want to, you know, leave this world with, I wish I had. So I just did it. We just did it, you know.
All right.
More questions.
From Solomon Thorne, greetings, Sir Ryan. Any advice for beginning filmmakers?
Don't let anything hold you back. I mean, absolutely nothing. People told me when I started years ago, they said, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. There's so many negatives out there that people throw at you. And I'm telling you, just take those negatives, let them bounce off of you, and keep plowing ahead. There's so many opportunities for anybody who wants to get in this business. You just got to, now, one thing, you've just got to give it 110%. I have found so many people who wanted to be in a position, maybe such as myself as a cinematographer or editor or whatever. And there's so many people lacking the motivation and lacking the 110%, 120% it takes to get to, you know, wherever position it is you think you want to get to, but it takes a lot. I mean, you've got to stay to it. You got to put your nose to the ground and don't give up. So many people give up too early. They really do, you know. And in competition, they just want to back off a little. I said, competition thrives me. I mean, it's like I get high off of competition, you know. So anyway, but don't give up. Don't never ever give up.
All right. Well, Dennis Wright wants to know: is this a zombie film?
No, No, it's got the look of a zombie film, but it doesn't. And that look came from my wife, who is a Walking Dead fanatic. So, and I said, well, I've got to draw the line somewhere. I don't want to do the zombie thing. You know, we can make it look sort of that wasteland look, but I don't want to, you know, make it a zombie movie. One of the guys in the film, he's one of the fighter guys, action guys. He has done a lot of Walking Dead as a stunt fighter and stuff like that. So it was cool. He was cool working with him.
Very good. All right. Nerd Far Away. Hey, I'm Mr. Johnson. What is your favorite part of making a movie? Now that you did all the parts.
Walking away at the end. I mean, not really. I mean, it's a relief when you walk away. Trust me. Favorite part is probably the editing, even though I struggled because it was my own film. Seeing it come together, seeing everything come together with the visuals and the music and just, you know, the whole 9 yards when it comes to just putting together the actual final product. I mean, that's what you start getting excited when you see the music and, you know, and the visuals and that kind of thing.
All right. From Rumble, Alan Horkin asks, as a cinematographer, do you think you have any advantages or disadvantages becoming a director?
Well, it's a huge advantage because you know what you want. Now, obviously, you got to know what you want in actors, in your actresses. But I think the two go hand in hand in a lot of ways. As a cinematographer, I work with a lot of directors. So, you know, when it comes time to direct, you definitely know the visual aspect of what you want. Then it's just finding that niche with working with your actors.
Okay. Brock Samsonite, is this connected to the Purge franchise at all, or is it just a coincidence?
This is just a coincidence.
Yeah, that would cost you a whole lot of money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Snake Oiler, Mr. Johnson, what or who were your influences or inspirations?
Well, growing up, listen to me, growing up, Spielberg was probably my number one because I always loved the epic features that he does. And that's what I've always wanted to be like from my visual standpoint is the epic visuals. I just loved everything he did, you know. So that's kind of today where, if you notice, everything is sort of epic in this film. I want the epic backdrops. So, and had I had some more money, it could have been 3 times what it was. So, but I'm happy. I've done what I've done. All I could do. So at the end of the day, I walk away from it.
Exactly. All right. From Razorburn, how was it like working with Aerosmith? Were they nice people to work with?
Wow, I'm surprised somebody found that out. Well, they must have dug deep. That was a trip. It was a trip. That was in Sony Studios when it was now Sony Studios. Back then, I think it was MGM or something.
Yeah, MGM.
We were shooting the Love in the Elevator song. So I actually got I got hired by a friend of mine did the set dressing on that, and he pulled me in on it. Little did I know I was going to be in a few of the scenes in front of the elevator there. If you'll watch it, the video, it's me going back and forth doing some stupid dance with a denim jacket on from the 1980s. So yeah, that went on for about 20-hour shoot. I mean, it was a long shoot, yeah. But great craft service. Steven Tyler was great to work with. He was awesome.
Oh yeah, I need to look that one up again. Professor Fear Brian, you lived in Burbank and you were a cinematographer and editor. Do you feel you need to live in the LA area to be successful in filmmaking these days?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You can be a successful filmmaker anywhere you want to be, especially now in the day and age of the technical or the technology we have now. No, absolutely not. You can make it anywhere.
And I have a final question. Is the film, how do you see the film? How do you see the movie?
How do I see it in what terms?
Like, is it on VOD now or coming to VOD?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant
Population Purge. With glasses or with
I see it making my money back. Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. It's on Fandango or Vudu. And it's on all the cable video on demand. And if you go to populationpurge.com, it's got a list of all the places that you can see the actual film. They're on the homepage. And it'll be there for, they said 3 months or whatever. And then after that, it'll drop off to like your Tubies and stuff like that.
There is a website.
Yeah.
Purge.com. All right. Great. Well, first of all, thank you for being on the show today. Congratulations on the movie. Just getting it made is one thing. Getting it made and released is a whole other challenge, as I'm sure you found out.
And that's another thing, because see, all my life I've always, been involved with the production process up until post-production. Well, see, now I had to learn the whole business end of it. And I'm telling you, it was a process. I mean, months and months of the business aspect of everything. Now I'm like, I'm primed now for the next feature to take it all the way through to the, distribution. So now I know how the whole process works and what you have to do and not do and, negotiate and everything else. So to get it out there. So.
Well, congratulations again. See the movie now on VOD, Amazon. I've got Amazon, so that'll work. Brian, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
All right, take care. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. Good way to end our reviews today with a lot of we had mixed today. Some bad movies and some recommends. So there you go. We have one last super chat coming in hot.
Yes, from Kevin Appel for 5. Here's a few bucks for wasting everyone's time answering my Longlegs question.
No, wait, let me correct him. You didn't waste anyone's time. It was the person who highlighted your question who wasted time. Not you. You were asking a legit question. Hey, did they? And someone in the chat, they already reviewed that earlier, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, Kevin, you're in the clear. It's the person who highlighted the chat who did it, who wasted time. Yes. Sorry, could read the rest.
And we're $5 richer for it. But in my opinion, I should always be highlighted. Thanks, Alan. There you go.
Well, there you go. There you go.
All worked out in the end.
See, there you go. All right, next week, join us for the Funeral of the Millennium. Funeral for a Franchise is coming. It's going to be here next Wednesday. I am reaching out to some of the biggest YouTubers and they will be joining us, giving their eulogies. And you can participate. Get yourself a t-shirt or a mug. I've got a mug right here. Here you go, Alan. I got the mug.
Yes.
For a franchise.
Well done.
There you are. You can get that at shop.filmthreat.com. You can actually participate by posting your own eulogy. Use the hashtag Star Wars Funeral. Lori will be collecting the best ones, which we will watch. We'll watch the best of your eulogies. So everyone is able to do that. And when was the last time you saw Funeral had its own merch? When was that?
I think that was Princess Diana.
Yeah. So it was that. I remember that funeral too.
Yeah. The world remembered it. And there was merch.
So yeah, join us Wednesday, July 17th for the Star Wars Funeral. Use the hashtag Star Wars Funeral to be a part of it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Any predictions, Alan?
It will be spectacular.
Well,
I feel like the depths of Star Wars has not yet been reached.
Here's the thing. Everyone wants to do this. I don't know how we're going to schedule it. It could be anywhere. I don't know how it's going to be hours. It'll be like all day. So be prepared. Be prepared. And special guests, celebrity, YouTube celebrities, and big celebrities will be joining us. So there you go. And last thing, want to say thank you to you. You keep the lights on with your super chats, your participation, your comments, super or not. We really appreciate you. We're growing. What's our goal, Alan?
169,000.
That's right. We're now over 125,000. Also want to say thanks to our mod today, Lord Thoth. Thanks to Atomic Lori and Glenn Nuccio, our intrepid producer. Want to say thank you to all of you. You have some good movies to see this weekend. There are good movies you can actually see. So Alan and I recommended a few, which is rare. So
speaking of Glenn, he posts on the YouTube channel. The making of the funeral video is on our YouTube channel. So check that out.
a lot of stuff. So Alan, what are you doing this weekend?
This week, oh yeah, I'll be in San Diego at 7:30 tomorrow on Saturday at the National Comedy Theater doing our fresh brand of improv comedy.
I am going to Night Market. If you know what that is.
Yeah, I was thinking about that going tonight.
626. Really?
Yeah.
No, let me know.
Santa Anita, right?
Yeah, I'm probably going to go on Saturday.
Yep.
So there you go. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. Next week is a big, big week for us. So please join us. Spread the word. Share the stream.
Yeah. Let's be real. It's a big week for Star Wars fandom.
Yeah, the final episode of The Acolyte.
May the menstrual cycle be with you always.
Exactly. Alan?
Let's get out of here.